arbitrary or procedures that might end up being somewhat restrictive or discouraging full participation or even get into sovereign issues. Because so many countries, it's very hard, the more procedures you put in, particularly when you're asking someone to make a legal commitment to, it's very hard not to start getting into the issue of including some of the members' priorities and not the others. So it's a consensus-based decision. If there's a country that wants to propose that we have something more formal or structured, we will all collectively consider it. But at the same time, I think how does an international framework that has very little budget and it comes in the form of in-kind contributions, how is it that we were able to develop as we have? And why is it that it's so easy for countries to join us? And it's because I believe we've taken care not to make this too procedurally focused. I don't want to make it incredibly difficult for Malaysia, for example, to decide to join as a full member. I don't think that's not the point. The point is not to try and get someone to put something in writing and sign for this framework. The point is for us all to come together and start thinking about these great challenges and benefit from the diversity of our views and find a common approach to addressing the issue. So I don't really have an answer directly other than to say there's no plans to do anything more than what we have, except to try and make a difference and to do something that is valuable to us as a collective whole. Which actually may then reflect even a greater emphasis, because we have two working groups that are permanent working groups, expert-based. One is on reliable nuclear fuel services. And reliable nuclear fuel services very much focuses on the back-end issue of used or spent fuel and also the waste. And in fact, the last meeting that we had was in Bulgaria, hosted by Bulgaria. And it's co-chaired, this working group by France and by Japan. And I participated in that. And we continue to try and make a difference in addressing these issues. The challenge, I would say, with multilaterally, even just for an individual country, with regards to the back end, is that the issue of waste, the issue of siting, the issue of what to do with waste is incredibly important to the public, the people in that country. And so we have to be very careful in IPNEC to respect that. So we're very careful not to be specific about countries unless they ask us to. We try and look at cross-cutting regional issues. We try and look at issues that are system-wide, architecture-wide. That way, I mentioned choice. That way a country can choose on their own and not have us try and convince them whether to keep the waste, whether to how to site, how to store, or whether to use commercial services and be relieved of that. There's no one that knows their population better than the government representatives of that country and that. So we have there's a significant deference on that. That having been said, if there was a country that says that concept of comprehensive issues, that's a fascinating concept. I see a benefit in participating my country in that. I see not only a benefit because we're contributing to the grand challenge of global expanded access and not addressing proliferation issues, but offering consolidated services, and I'd like to be a part of that. But also, there's great economic benefit because there are no services like that basically out there. Just very few. I don't know, Russia and France. So there's great opportunity and economic benefit for the people, for the location that might host that, the type of service. But again, it's so important, and I've learned this in the past, it is so very important for that very initial dialogue to be with people in the government, the representatives, not with foreign representatives. Very important. If not, it could have, in my view, significant unintended negative consequences. I'm a citizen of the United States. I live in a home in that state. I would want to know that my government is talking to me before they talk to others about something that may be cited right around my house. It's a human thing to want. So I think the back end is incredibly important, and it's incredibly sensitive, rightfully so. And so I don't have a solution exactly on how to find that, exactly what's going to work. It's going to take a reflection. But again, what we're doing in INCAP is trying to make a difference and trying to be one of many who will not be the single solution one to help collectively address. I think we're all better off when we have fellow countries that come together and all collectively say, that's right, this is a challenge. What can we do with a combination of ideas to try and improve the solution? And then it can translate also into improved opportunities for a specific country. It's not a very direct, specific answer I gave, but I think that the key is that we are very much focusing on the various commercial, government, business models for back-end voice management. But again, we generally will do it in a non-country specific manner because of those sensitivities that are respected. Well, there's so many things that we can do to learn from Fukushima, including exchanging lessons learned. And to identify, just like the United States and other countries. I was recently in Korea. They were talking about what they were doing that they could do quickly to add enhancements, seawalls or what have you, to some of their plants, and what they could do long term. And then sharing the information, and then looking at the regulatory process. In the U.S., we've done that. We're doing that. We've identified a task force that's established. Specific steps were identified, and we're working with utilities to do that. So we want to give great respect for what happened, and really do everything we can to get to realize maximum lessons learned, so that we never have to see this happen again.